This was a recommendation by you. I know nothing about this project.
Seeing this in theaters for the first time, the trailer blew my socks off.
How cool is it to see a trailer for the first time in the theater?
Dude, so much better.
Like,
so much infinitely
that
better.
doesn't happen very often.
Especially a good trailer. The Shadow before.
Yeah, like it looks computer generated, but also it's got that like stylistic touch to it.
The movie they choose to name here is How to Train Your Dragon. That series is huge. So much adventure here. Look at how the color's changing on him though. It's red when it's danger. It's blue when he's calm.
Welcome to Backseat Directing,
where we talk about movies, TV shows, comics, and more.
We're your hosts,
Andrew.
Aaron.
We put out new episodes every Monday and Thursday.
And on this episode, we're doing a trailer reaction to The Wild Robot.
3, 2, 1.
Action. I didn't say and Aaron, so it felt weird. I just said Aaron. That was
Aaron.
Yeah, just me.
Zuko here.
I don't know. You snapped, and I thought in my head, I was like, "Oh, that was cool. I should, that was cool. That was smooth. I should do that." And then my hand came up, and Aaron, it's all right.
You should have done the Shia LaBeouf from Transformers pointing at his bicep up. Yeah, put the disco ball here so that it reflects off the light. Aaron.
All right, what are we doing today? This was a recommendation by you. I know nothing about this project.
So the Wild Robot trailer I watched for the first time in theaters this past weekend. I saw a double feature of Dune Part 2 and Kung Fu Panda 4. And the Wild Robot trailer came on before Kung Fu Panda because they're both DreamWorks movies. And seeing this in theaters for the first time, the trailer blew my socks off. So I'm hyping this trailer up, but I have a feeling that you'll like it. It's an interesting concept for a movie. It's a really, really good teaser trailer. Teaser trailers are getting out of hand nowadays. It is 2.5 minutes, but it's a good teaser trailer. It doesn't unveil like too much about the movie. It leaves some mystery. You guys will see here in a second. You can go ahead and click in the description below to skip ahead to the start of the trailer, but we won't talk long. I do want to take this moment before the trailer actually starts to thank anybody who clicked on this video. We do really appreciate you. Make sure to click the subscribe button and the notification bell. We'll appreciate you even more because you don't want to miss any of this content that we put out.
How cool is it to see a trailer for the first time in the theater?
Dude, so much better.
Like,
so much infinitely
that
better.
doesn't happen very often.
Especially a good trailer.
Like, I could maybe count on one hand how many times that's happened where I'm watching a trailer and I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, this trailer just came out, I think, like last weekend. So it was just lucky timing that I was going to see it. Didn't have to watch it on like a little phone.
Yeah, all right. All right. Ready to dive into it?
Oh, I'm so ready.
All right, let's go ahead and switch the camera view here.
Focus all your
Get my
attention.
mouse over here. And we're going. Dang.
What a shot, right? What an opening shot.
The animation looks so good.
The song is really good too. So this is the same studio that was just like heralded for doing such good work on Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And I feel like you see the influence in the eyes, like that little animal that was cowering in the shadow before.
Yeah, like it looks computer generated, but also it's got that like stylistic touch to it.
The movie they choose to name here is How to Train Your Dragon. That series is huge. So much adventure here. Look at how the color's changing on him though. It's red when it's danger. It's blue when he's calm.
This looks beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Oh my gosh.
The song is such a good choice too. See, it's green now. He's like making a big effort. He's determined. It's pink when he's affectionate. Yellow maybe when he's afraid.
Let's go.
Doesn't that just make you feel something?
Your true nature.
Sometimes to survive, We must become more than we were programmed to be.
I've got chills.
Jeez. Good recommendation there.
Look at pause that. Lupita Nyong'o, I think that's the voice that we heard. Pedro Pascal, Kit Connor, Bill Nye, Stephanie Sue, who everyone might remember from Everything Everywhere All at Once a couple years ago. Mark Hamill and Catherine O'Hara.
What in the world?
Mark Hamill, the goat of voice acting.
Dude, that's crazy. 2024 is stacking up to be
A year.
a year. A year. Literally 2-3 months ago, we're like, oh man, 2024
Doesn't
not
look
going
as
to
good.
be nearly as good as 2023 or 2022. Like, dude, it's right up there. This looks
Yeah.
so beautiful.
So many movies get announced like during the year.
Yeah.
And even like smaller movies. This looks like it's going to be so good. And it's like, it's the bar that this movie needed is like some animated bangers to like top it off. I'm so beyond excited and thrilled for this movie. It's like one of my most anticipated releases now after seeing this trailer.
You don't really know what it's about from that, but at the same time, it told you everything you need to know.
Yeah, it told you everything you need to know to buy your ticket.
Yeah,
So-
like that looked so good. And I was wondering too, like, all right, is there going to be a lot of dialogue in this, or is this more, I don't know, more of a silent film kind of thing? But with that cast there,
There's dialogue.
we're going to be talking.
There's so the question that's probably on anybody's mind that's still listening is the release date for The Wild Robot is September 20th, 2024. September 20th, 2024. It's being brought to us by DreamWorks Studios. The plot synopsis that we have here on IMDb says, after a shipwreck, an intelligent robot called Roz is stranded on an uninhabited island. To survive the harsh environment, Roz bonds with the animals and cares for an orphaned baby goose.
Man. And that's that little goose that you were like, oh.
He's so cute as he waddled by. I didn't even notice this upon a previous viewing of the trailer, but the way the colors on Roz changes
Yeah, it
as he
looks
reacts to the
so
environment.
good.
It obviously seems really reminiscent, right, of Big Hero 6 and Baymax, which is a different studio. But we all came to fall in love with robots in movies like Big Hero 6 and WALL-E. And this looks like another example where we're going to love,
Absolutely.
a creation. And I'm so excited to see it interact with nature. The animation looks insane. That fire scene where the deer are running from the purple fire is gorgeous.
It seems like animation studios are kind of pushing the limit, of the animation and kind of getting away from the realism side of things and getting more into like stylistic visuals. What do you think of that trend?
Oh,
And where do you see it going from here?
I love it because I don't want us to get into that, that chasm of the uncanny valley where animation pushes so far into realism that it looks too real and it bothers our eyes. I think it's much better to take a stylistic approach and give us something unique. Like
That's a really good point. That like if it looks too real, you're gonna recognize that it's not real, which is weird way of putting it, but that's so true.
I think video games have even hit that point where it seems like some studios have started to, and it's not even quite so stylistic as like a movie like The Wild Robot, but they're not animating it to look too real because it would bother gamers, I think. Games like Red Dead Redemption 2 look incredibly real, but I think they still look like a game enough to not fall into that little mishap. But what do you think about the trend?
Well, this trend kind of seems to have been started by Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, right? Where you're kind of blending computer-generated animation with 2D animation and adding different kind of lighting scenarios and textures and stuff like that. I love it. I think it's so cool. Any animated movie that's coming out recently that's been like this, like it just looks phenomenal. One, because they all kind of look the same now in the sense of like, oh, they're all doing something different than what they were. But they all look so different at the same time. Like you have Into the Spider-Verse and what Across the Spider-Verse did with all their different animation styles. And then you have stuff like TMNT.
Kung Fu Panda, every time they do one of those movies, they use like a traditional like Chinese animation style for flashbacks. And I think it's so cool and creative.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but the most recent Puss in Boots, I heard was very
So
like,
well animated.
yeah. So I really like this trend. And I think we might even see them push the limit even more, you know, and kind of go even further from the realism. And like even that, like the fire was pink. Did you see that? It was like, I like how they're messing around with colors to display an emotion.
I love the way that Inside Out animates like the little workers and the emotions themselves to be humanoid, but to still not be too human-like. And they all have like these fantastical qualities. Like the moments inside Riley's mind are everyone's favorite part of the movie for the most part.
Yeah. I feel like from the early 2000s to like the mid-teens, you had the realism era, right? Where kind of every studio almost looked the same, didn't it? Like it was hard to differentiate like Pixar from DreamWorks from
Disney started their 3D animation era, and like movies like Frozen and Tangled, like the characters all look the same. It's not differentiated movie to movie.
Yeah, and there's a lot of movies like Pixar is really good at character design, where their characters look different, but the animation itself kind of all looked like everyone else. But now it seems like everyone's putting their own flair on it, and I'm all about it. This looked so like cinematic and beautiful. Like that's so cool that you got to see that in theaters for the first time.
Oh, and plus,
I'm
like
jealous.
Hearing that song on the speakers too just adds to the emotionality of the trailer. Because that song, "What a Wonderful World,"
and I had to watch this for the first time, listening to your voice. Like if I was in the theater, like it would have been silent. You know, like so good.
You missed out, man. You should have come to see Kung Fu Panda 4 with me. You asked me this question. You were curious about this before we started. Now, after seeing the trailer, what do you think about whether this movie, The Wild Robot, is targeted towards adults or children?
I think you answered it well before we started, that you think it's kind of for everyone. It seems like it's going to be definitely like targeted for kids, like, hey, bring your kids to this movie, but it seems like it's going to have real world problems and themes that it's going to touch on.
Like the destruction
family
of nature
yeah, exactly.
And also like kind of like our place in nature, technology's place in nature, like the relationship between a robot and you know, animals, creatures. I'm so excited to see where they go, what the themes and what the like overall moral of the movie is.
I know we're saying like teaser trailers are getting out of hand with how long they were. They did a good job of this, not revealing too much. Like we only heard one person's voice.
That's what I said before the trailer started, was they did a really good job making a teaser, because it's like doesn't unveil anything.
Yeah, but they did a great job of showing the dynamics of all these visuals that we're going to be seeing, you know, with the different colors on the robot itself, but also the different environments that we're going to see, the different animals. It all looks really good.
It invests you in the danger of the story without you really knowing where Roz is going or why. Yeah. Like you're seeing him like swinging, you know, on a mountainside, like fighting a blizzard. So you're like, what? Now you're more mystery than you are like you're wanting to go because of finding out why, which is what a trailer is meant to do. It's not meant to be like, oh look, the Hulk's in this movie. You should come watch it and see the Hulk. Like you should want to know about the plot. Like the Bike Riders trailer, I think is really good. It tells you like
just enough, to get you interested.
It's like this biker gang is like maybe the leader's starting to get out of control, but it's like what happens from there. That's all you need to know.
Exactly. Yeah, this was great. What did you guys think? Let us know down in the comments. Is this a movie that you'll go see in theaters? Is this a movie that you'll wait for streaming, or is this a movie that you're going to avoid altogether? I'd love to see this in theaters. That looked really cool.
Yeah, there's no chance I'll miss this in theaters.
Yeah. Dude, this year is looking good for movies.
Really good.
In the last month, there's been some awesome announcements, and we hope that you join us in on those conversations, talking about all these movies and shows. It's a lot of fun for us to do this podcast, and we appreciate every single one of you that listens to it. If you want to join in on the conversation even more, make sure you comment down below on the YouTube comments. But then also we have a Discord. It's completely free. The link is in the description of this video. If you want to join in and talk with us in this small community that we're continually growing about movies, shows, comics, we put updates in there of what we're doing with the podcast. We take show recommendations as well, and we normally turn those around pretty quick too if you put a recommendation in there.
We do that really quickly. My final question for the audience is, who do you think is going to win best animated feature at the 2025 Oscars. We're going to be looking at Inside Out 2 going head to head with The Wild Robot in my mind. So which one of them do you think is going to come out on top? Which one's going to be a better movie?
What a good year. Thanks so much for watching, and
That's a wrap.